So I went live talking about me and Joshua going to see Sinners. And I'll admit, when the trailer first came out, me and a church member were talking about how we don't know because, I've never been one of those, the demon possessed movies, the scary movies. That's never been my. I was at, when I got older and got a discernment of spirits. I was like, I'm good. It took me a minute to go see Get Out. Like, it took some convincing because the way they depicted it was a horror film when it really was a think piece. Same thing with Nope. I would say what is closer to a thriller slash horror is definitely Them on Amazon. That it had some grappling scenes to the point I had to stop watching it for a while and come back to it, but I was determined to finish it. I did not go into season two. With Sinners, I actually read online people complaining they felt like there was no plot. You're stupid. The fact that you didn't get that there was a plot, you totally missed it. As far as the people calling it demonic, first of all, define demonic. Anything that's associated with evil spirits or demons. A lot of those reality shows y'all watch is demonic, but y'all watch them. Some of those movies you like to watch is demonic, but you watch them. Thrillers where people are killing people, and I mean, it's not just the scary stuff. It's sometimes the juicy gossip and the juicy watching all this, the this person having sex with this person having sex with. Some people would argue that soap operas are demonic. Some people would argue that they don't live happy lives. They try to take each other out with strife and jealousy and envy. You got to know what you can handle, what you can and cannot handle. And yes, we are living in those times where literally you have to be careful with your ear gates and your eye gates. Well, I felt comfortable going to see it after, I'll admit, one particular young lady that I know, and the way she broke it down, and I know she is a spiritual woman of God, and I was like, the way she broke it down, I can go see it. Something I shared on my TikTok live is that Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, I think, are dope lyricists, but I don't listen to them on the regular. But when that whole battle started, I was going and listening to their lyrics because I was analyzing for content. I'm one of those people, I analyze for content, I analyze for meaning, and I definitely saw that with Sinners, which was crazy how my son saw things that I didn't see because I didn't understand why the vampires were dancing to Celtic music, to Irish music. I didn't understand that in the accents. And when he broke that down to me, I'm not going to tell y'all everything. I want you to look it up. I got it. I don't know how I missed the setup, but I knew it was a setup, but I didn't know how they were going to set them up. When the guy sold the juke joint to the twins, it was like, there's no clan here. 1932 in Mississippi, sir. We know better. Okay. So it was just a matter of how they were going to set them up. Now that comes up later, how they had planned on setting them up, and then what happened later. You have to watch. I'm not going to tell y'all everything. The most compelling scene that I wouldn't say shook me to my core, but I felt it was just like Ryan Coogler. So there's a scene, and I hate how people are reposting this stuff online. Unless they put it out there themselves, stop posting movie clips online. I know I'm not getting to the thing. I'm gonna make sure y'all put on the video where you can actually hear me talk about Sinners. But there's a part in the movie where Sammy is playing on the guitar, and the way it opens up, and it just shows you how, because he's considered a griot, and when he plays the guitar, how you see people coming from our ancestors over in Africa, some of the way they dance. They even linked it to twerking. Like, a lot of people don't like twerking. They don't think it's appropriate. Go back to our African culture. Go back to I don't think twerking is always appropriate, but it is cultural. If we're being honest, if you go back to our cultural heritage, even today, watch them, watch our ancestors, watch our people, watch people from different tribes in Africa and how they dance. There's a certain movement to it. And then they linked it to breakdancing, to you see a guy that to me kind of resembled Jimi Hendrix on the guitar, and just how they migrated through music and how it evolved for us over the culture. That scene alone really just was powerful. When they had the indigenous people warn the white people, who we realized was Klansmen, there was somebody you have in your possession. He's not to be trusted. They told him. Isn't that history, y'all? All this was history repeating itself. Spoiler alert, they said Ryan purposely, and maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He didn't want any heroes. He wanted survivors. He didn't want heroes. He wanted survivors. That says so much. There was another scene that really hit me, and oh, this is what I meant to say. Old girl, which I can't think of her name right now, but she's the one who was passing, and she was in love with Smoke. No, she was in love with Stack. And a part of me wants to be mad at her because Stack told her to go home, but she stayed. Then she wanted to go Let's go see what they're up to. And we already knew, chick, that's not gonna work. Even when I thought she was gonna get away, she was like, really? Then the Asian woman, which I can't remember if they said that she was Korean or Chinese. I know she was of Asian descent, and they were saying how if you look back in history, that Black people trusted anyone from Asian culture because they could be trusted. So they would have stores. So if you notice in the movie, they had 2 stores where people shopped and did whatever because for whatever reason, Black people were not allowed to own these stores, but they shopped there in that particular town. Then what else? What else? What else? What else? The vampires just can't come into your house. You have to invite them in. And she finally is like, y'all can come in. Of course, she doesn't say it that nicely. And she figures, let's kill them and be done with this because they didn't want them to get to her daughter or go into town and infect more people. But I was so mad at her. Like, what are you doing? Because they were trying to wait it out into the sunrise so the sunrise would take all of them out. But that did not happen. But I realized if that movie had gone the way we wanted it to, like, the movie wouldn't have been what it was. Like, this is one of the few movies where I'm mad, but then I'm not mad that things didn't go the way we thought it should have went. How certain love interests got killed, which you didn't want that to happen, but it had to happen for that movie to work the way it did. So, do I think you should see it? Yes. But if you know you can't handle it, because it was gory at times, it did come off scary at times, and if you know you can't handle that, then don't go. But me and Joshua definitely enjoyed it, and I appreciate how even I had to depend on him for some breakdown, because now I just got off Facebook and broke down certain things. But yeah.